on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Light me up like a Christmas tree. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know who I am, Johnny Radio, a.k.a. John Harden sometimes. Find me on Twitter at Johnny_radio. Find my good friend and sidekick, Gabe Kuhn. Yeah, you know him. You know him well. You can reach him, 901-360-8255. You can check him out on Twitter at G_Kuhn71. And yes, you can also text the show at 67129, and we'll both get back to you, and we'll read what it is that you're dropping. Now, I will tell you one thing. We are going to drop a little John Luke McCord all over your face. Makes a lot of sense. Why? Well, he's Mississippi born. He's Mississippi bred. He's a Mississippi man till he is dead. He understands what's going on in Mississippi. He understands the fight. He wants to talk about it. He understands what's going on with Kylan Hill. He understands the point of view. He also understands the other side's point of view. He also understands that the ultimatum is an extremely possible bad timing. But there's all kinds of things to talk about with what's going down in Mississippi. There's interesting things to bring up. That I'm hearing with the whole Bubba thing. And just there's all kinds of stuff that's going down is basically what I'm trying to say. And we are going to drop it all over you because at 1:30, me and Gabe Kuhn are going to be joined by John Luke. At 2:30, we're going to give you Hardwood Dead Gummit because it feels just that good. It's like 2:30 you don't want to miss because you never know what you would learn. I mean, heck, we've learned why Mark Grace didn't want to take steroids. What are some of the wonderful things that you can think about that you've learned during Hardwood over the years? I actually had somebody one time text me that they've learned more during Hardwood that's actually made them happy than anything they ever learned in high school, college, and life put together. And I said, thank you very much, sir. And then they said, no, madam. And I said, oh, thank you, dear. So like I said, you never know. Everybody loves a little Hardwood. 2 o'clock, we're going to break down a whole lot of stuff that's going around with COVID-19. And then we just have a whole lot of stuff to get into. And I'm going to tell you right now, Peter and CJ, I thought they rocked it this morning. Loved them. Zach, he tore it up. But I was listening to Greg and Eli as well. And there's just something that I don't know what it is about this song thing that they do every day that I can't miss it. Or, I mean, like, I go into a restaurant, I'm driving down the road, no matter what I'm doing. Like, heck, Brandon Lang back in the day, that's one of the people that I always made sure I listened to. You know, I love Greg and Eli's show. This song thing they're doing with Gabe, all you out there, I wish I would have thought about. I think it's genius. But the question about, like, 3 artists that you have to listen to for the rest of your life, I just wanted to also bring that up.
Isn't that impossible?
My show. It is impossible, but I think a couple things are very simple. Like, I'm sorry to say this. If you are even close to a fan of anything that is music, there's no way you don't pick Pink Floyd right off the bat. Because one, the number of albums, you have the Gilmore Years, you have Roger Waters' years. You have Animals. I don't even know how many people know about even Animals. You have The Wall. You have Dark Side of the Moon. You have so much music. And plus, the greatest song of all time, Wish You Were Here, is probably one of the greatest songs ever. But then you can go down the rabbit hole. And again, they have over 30 albums. But everybody knows The Wall. Everybody knows Wish You Were Here. Everybody knows Division Bell. That's 3. Everybody knows Dark Side of the Moon. That's 4. Everybody knows Pulse. That's 5. And I feel like everybody knows Animals. That's 6. And those are just 6 albums that I gave you with a plethora, and I'm talking about hours upon hours of music, and Pink Floyd stretches from 1967 to the present, and again, 30 albums, and the greatest song of all time, in my opinion, Wish You Were Here. I just don't know how they aren't the top at any music fan who realistically likes music. Doesn't put them, because again, as much as you love the Beatles or the Doors or Jimi Hendrix or Janis or whatever, or you like rap and you're down with NWA, or is it NWA? Yeah,
You're right.
that's right. I was just a wrestling thing keeps popping up in my head. But if you're down with all that stuff, if you're down with this type of music, they put out, I think, the largest volume. And then you're going to laugh when I come in, and Gabe saw this. And I'm not going to ever say to you that they are the greatest rock band ever. But I'm going to tell you, if you're locked in a place and you got to pick Pink Floyd, because they have all of the, in my opinion, they have the greatest album, and like the most, other than Bob Dylan. The reason I can't pick Bob Dylan is because Bob Dylan can't sing a lick. I can sing as good as Bob Dylan. I think Bob Dylan is the greatest songwriter. And don't get me wrong, I love Bob Dylan. And I love me some Johnny Cash. They write music out the frame. But if we are you ever going to put Bob Dylan as one of the greatest singers of all time? Hell no. I've seen Bob Dylan play so many times, it's not funny. And I know for a fact I could have gone up on stage. If I couldn't play I can't play the harmonica, but I could have sung the songs just as good as Bob was, especially as drunk as he was in Tupelo that one night I saw him when he fell off the stage. It was hilarious. So, now I do have to admit, he fell, not off the stage, off his stool, and he fell off his stool, and the whole place shut up and was like, oh my God, the old man's dead. And then you hear her laughing in the background. And he gets up and he goes, in his own Bob Dylan way, 1, 2, 3. And then they start going back, and they go right back into the song where he was. But no, he literally, and I know there's people who are going to remember this, that were at that Tupelo show when he fell off and he fell down. I love Bob Dylan, but I'm not going to put Bob Dylan up there. Yes, he wrote thousands and thousands of songs, and I love Mr. Tambourine Man. I love all that stuff. But his voice is not something that I'm going to be able to continuously listen to, as where David Gilmour and Roger Waters, they are very talented. But I also wanted to bring up, and I wanted to ask this to Gabe Kuhn. What are the most underrated rock bands, I think, in the world? And people are going to be so surprised when I say this. I think it's Guns N' Roses. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know anybody in this world who has never listened to Appetite, who doesn't know Appetite for Destruction. Appetite for Destruction is probably the greatest debut band, period, for anybody ever. Think about what Axl and Slash and Izzy dropped when they dropped that bad boy. Sweet Child of Mine. Are you kidding me? It's like Motley Crue had a baby with Aerosmith, and it was Axl Rose and this band, and they tore it up. And then they come back with Use Your Illusions 1, Use Your Illusions 2. You have Civil War. You have all these songs. Mr. Brownstone, Mr. Brownstone. I'm just trying to say is, if you want to talk realistically about rock bands, and if you like, and you're stuck, and you got to listen to something over and over, and actually people who have talent is what I'm trying to say. Because that's what I was thinking about a lot. Like Jimi Hendrix has talent. Jim Morrison had talent. The Doors had talent. They were different. Pink Floyd, talent. Beatles, so much damn talent. Do you know how much I love Widespread Panic? I can't pick, no matter how many, the Jam Band, there's a million songs. But if I only can pick 3, I can't pick WSP. I love Widespread. Seen them probably 150 times, at least, honestly. And that's kind of on a relatively low number. But what I'm saying is they don't have what I would consider the ultimate skill. And if you have to listen to real albums, Pink Floyd's number 1 in my opinion. And for a rock band, people need to hit me up 67129 and tell me if you're a rocker from the 80s and 90s, you want to be honest with yourself because they were before Nirvana. And I want to remind people of that. They were before Nirvana. They were before a lot of people that we love. And they came after the, quote, great ages. But Guns N' Roses came into a time, and they're what sold out huge amphitheaters. And Axl Rose was dope as hell. And Duff McKagan and Deadgummit, Slash, they were dope. Speaking of dope, it's time to get to the leadoff. And you know who gives it to us? MemphisFarmers.com. He's the dopest of all. He is Chad Gatlin, and I want to remind you, all you have to do is go to MemphisFarmers.com, and you know what's going to happen? He's going to put you first and foremost. He's going to give you the leadoff.
Oh, wow. Speaking of baseball and leadoff, the MLB. Wow, man.
Fake.
What is it's fake. Okay, well, we'll get to it then. MLB and Rob Manfred, they're looking to impose a 60-game season. There's no agreement from either side. They're looking to impose it. And I just want to ask, how big of an asterisk goes on this season if they do indeed move forward with it?
This is what's confusing to me. Everything that I understand is that in order for them to produce this schedule, they're going to basically have to break every rule of the CBA, with the owners and what everybody's doing. You see what I'm saying? It's like taking MLB, the Major League Baseball Players Association, the owners and the players, and it's telling them to bleep off. You know what I'm saying? Rob's going to come in there, who's been chastised by everybody, who's been hung out to dry by both sides and made to look like the bad guy, and now he's going to impose this 60-game schedule. Now, I'm going to ask you something, truly. You know it's not happening, right? I know it's not going to happen. Do you believe it is? Are we going to be this delusional? Do you really think because Rob said so and he imposes this that the players are going to show up?
That's what my knowledge of it was.
See, I totally disagree. This goes on back to what their agreement was in March. And if you really believe that on July 1st, and this is what they say, on July 1st, players are going to show up to Arizona and Florida, right? That's what they say, correct? How many other states are doing worse than them? Like maybe 2? They're doing as bad as you can get. How many players have already come out and said, because I got the number right here, that's why I'm asking. How many players have come out and said hell no, they will not go? So far, 33 have signed it, said hell no.
The Mets and Yankees said they will not go anywhere besides New York for their training camp.
Oh, man, he's beating me to it. Thank you. Jeff Passan reported exactly what Gabe Kuhn just dropped all over your face. You already got 2, and now guess what, Gabe? Another team has now dropped into it.
Who is it?
Phillies. They came in and said there's no way with as many COVID-19 cases that they have that you think that we're going to take our family is what they called themselves. I love that. And I agree. If you're an organization, you should be family and you should care about them. And he said, we're not going to let our family go down there. And yes, you've been on this side of the glass working your tail off with Greg and Eli. I've got to read a little bit more than you during this. Hell of a question. You've done a great job answering it. But I want to ask you truthfully, if you already have 33 players who have come out, 33 players have come out and said, no, we will not go because Arizona and Florida is a disaster. You have 2 entire teams joined by now 3 so far that say ixnay on the, spring training unless it's here, they aren't going. Then you have already an ownership that hasn't agreed to it, an MLB Players Associated that signed it to it in March, but the owners rejected it. Again, there's this 5 o'clock, time limit that we're going to find out here and there today. And I'm going to tell you, when 5 o'clock happens today, Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Time, do you know what we're going to find out? We just got dealt a whole nother handful of dog keister because baseball has not moved one step closer. Sorry, Rob. You try your best. This season, until your players agree with anything, until COVID-19 gets some kind of fix, and until the owners decide to play 100% of the salary for games played, there's no way in hell baseball plays this year, and this is going to end up costing you more than you will ever imagine.
Well, bold statement. Now, Kylan Hill, Mississippi State running back. He said on Twitter that the state of Mississippi either needs to change the flag or he will not be representing the state anymore. And he said he means that. He is tired. Do you think, it's sort of two-parted question here. Do you think he will stand by the ultimatum that he has just given? And two, is the pressure that the SEC, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and now Kylan Hill going to cause the state to actually change the flag?
All right. I'm glad you asked that in two parts because one, no. It's going to be impossible for him as a senior to stick to what he said. Not because he doesn't believe it, because I don't think the young man thought to himself about how politics work.
And also not because it's not going to happen either.
Yes, that's why I was getting ready to say no for the number one. I have number two is yes. The second part of your question, I think yes, it will change. But again, politics move a lot slower than possibly what this season will. And I apologize to everybody, but the truth of the matter is Mississippi will not be voting on this flag before the start of college football. Kylan Hill's not going to give up his senior year and his opportunity to shine, at least in my personal opinion. I respect the young man for standing up, but I also think the young man is going to look at this and say, damn, I didn't realize they were going to be out of session for the next month.
It's got to be introduced, that it's got to be voted on, that it's got to be signed, that could be vetoed. There's a lot of things that need to happen, and then you have to have another flag in the works.
Yes, it's going to take time. And that's the problem is he doesn't have the time. So I admire the young man. First question, no. Second question, absolutely yes, it eventually will happen.
So he will not be able to stand by his ultimatum, but the pressure that the SEC, Ole Miss, and others have put on the state of Mississippi will cause the change. That's what.
Perfect.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Now, I found this very interesting.
Scary.
David Sampson, he's the former Marlins president. He was on Middays last week, actually. He has he's got a podcast on CBS Sports called Nothing Personal with David Sampson. Now, there were rumors that the Lakers are practicing in a Big Shoe executive Steven Jackson's sort of Staples Center replica court, and they're together. Now, what David Sampson, again, the former Marlins president, had to say is, if you're the NBA, you've got to look into this. To me, this is as serious as PEDs, and this is as serious as sign stealing by the Astros and the Red Sox and the Yankees and every other team. Now, before you take this as a bad take, let me explain why it's not. The whole point of PEDs and sign stealing and why it's an issue is that what leagues try to do is make sure there's a level playing field where the biggest differentiating factor is the talent of the athletes and the talent of the front office. Do you think Sampson's speaking some truth here?
Yes and no. Do you know what I mean by yes and no? And I hate doing that because I should have a very strong opinion. Like the PEDs, that ticks me off. Do you know what I mean? I don't like him. Don't say that this is similar to PEDs. Why? Because PEDs, and we talk about performance-enhancing drugs, and we go straight back to Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, baseball, blah, blah, blah. When we talk about cocaine or speed or all these other things, we don't simply go back to baseball in certain years when they did all this. We don't talk about Strawberry can't play left field because he's going to toot up the whole deadgum line. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? So the PED thing I do not like. I don't want to hear about it because it has a lot to do with the generation when I was a child. And again, it wasn't illegal, but Selig, shame on you, not on the baseball players. Again, we talked about it with Gabe Kuhn. Gabe Kuhn said something so profound the other day. And what did you say again? And do you even remember what was so
about the college football?
Exactly. You have to protect what?
them from themselves.
Correct. Just like a commissioner of a baseball league should have protected his players from themselves. If they're all juicing and it's going to be bad for them, Bud Selig was the person who was supposed to protect them. Now, this one, the NBA can't protect. That's why I don't like the PED. I don't like that comparison because Bud Selig is the manager, and he should have protected all players from this. This, I do actually understand. It's more like the cheating scandal. And why do I say it's more like the cheating scandal with the Astros or the Red Sox in stealing signs? Because you're secretively working out when everybody's supposed to be doing COVID-19 and they're all Zooming and they can't do anything but work out on their own, watch maybe video, but you're supposedly almost like Dr. Evil in an underground lair. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I mean and what I'm trying to compare? PED I do not like. But what the Astros did, that was damn cheating. And what this sounds like, if this is true, that is straight up just damn cheating because everybody did it during the PEDs. Every team had a person using it. Right now on this one, the Astros were cheating back in the day. Back in the day, the Red Sox were cheating. Right now, the only team I know that it sounds like from Mr. David, Mr. Sampson, it's simple. It's the Lakers. And that is called cheating. Does that make sense, Gabe?
It does, because not everybody's being provided that luxury in a given time, and for them to be together, that might be against certain NBA rules. I know that they have facility restrictions right now as to who can get in the facility, so they're just using a third-party facility. And, again, not everybody's awarded that luxury.
Man, I have to also say I love the fact that Gabe works with me because he always has something smooth. He always asks great questions. The texters also answer with great stuff. And I also think I come back with just straight knowledge. I mean, the way I just said how PEDs, everybody was doing them. Gabe Kunitz said it yesterday. He said, what people, like, you have to protect young people because they feel invincible and all they want to do is be the best that they can possibly do. And they're going to do everything they can to be the best. So Bud Selig, for David to like for somebody to compare this to PEDs, not fair, because it doesn't give an entire generation of people an advantage over an entire generation of people. Like AAA, AA, single A, huge drop off from the MLB because everybody was cheating to get on those rosters, but we don't know which team had more people cheating. But right now, I will say this. If it is true, and I want to ask you this, Mr. Gabe Kuhn, how bad will this look for the Lakers truly going forward?
I don't think that bad.
So
and the only reason I say that is because I don't know if they're, one, going to be able to prove that this is a full team thing, and two, that they're going to be able to prove by the bylaws that they have in the NBA that this was actually an illegal thing that they were doing.
Last but not least, because I know we're going to break, we're bringing up my good friend Jean-Luc McCord. He's going to join us next. We're going to get deep up in Mississippi, college football, and all kinds of other stuff. But Gabe Kuhn, I want to ask you truthfully, do you think personally that if one team is playing in a underground stadium and practicing, do you not almost feel like it's Dr. Evil and LeBron James kind of controlling it, and do you not feel a little dirty?
It feels unfair. There's no question about it. But if it's within the law, at this moment, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Ooh, interesting. Hey, guess what? 67129, and don't forget, Jean-Luc McCord is coming up next. Hit us up, talk to us. I see all y'all are laughing and having a lot of fun with the, I got to say, Greg and Eli, with the music thing, that was just genius. But whatever you do, keep on hitting up the text line at 67129. Whatever you never do, ever forget Chad Gatlin and MemphisFarmers.com. And always keep it locked and loaded. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from
Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1.
Don't miss us.
I'm John Conway with Conway Services. Do you have to add Freon to your air conditioner every summer? Good news, it's Super Tune-Up time at Conway Services. We'll come out and perform our exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your air conditioning system for only $69 with a Freon leak check. That's right, Conway Services exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up for only $69 with a Freon leak check. We'll remove years of dirt, grime, and leaves from your air conditioning system. It's like taking your air conditioner to a car wash, all for only $69. If you have an air conditioner that leaks Freon every year, with Conway Services Super Tune-Up, we'll include a leak check at no charge. If that's not enough, we'll treat your unit with a special Teflon coating to help protect against the hot Memphis sun. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. Call this week and we'll perform your Super Tune-Up for only $57.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order.
See casper.com/terms.
Hey, clones, you've heard me talk about Walmart delivery before, but now Walmart has the fastest delivery service yet. Walmart Express Delivery. Get groceries and more delivered from their door to yours with no contact delivery in 2 hours or less. Zero markups. Same low price as in-store. Don't let work, kids, an at-home workout, or whatever else life throws at you right now get in the way of getting what you need when you need it. Try Walmart Express Delivery today. Restrictions and fees do apply.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, let me tell you something. We will all die, but I'm going to tell you what, we're not going to die because we're going to find that whiskey bar. The Mayan calendar was wrong. Gregorian, Julian, whatever. Welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know who Johnny Radio is. That's me. You know who Gabe Kuhn is. The big man with me. And yes, I call him, if I ever say something stupid, my back. Now, I say a lot of stupid stuff, so he's got to back me up on a lot. He's got a busy job. And he also goes through your texts. He goes through your calls. And you can always reach the show at 67129 and call the show at 901-360-8255. Now, I do know that some people obviously misheard a few things because I've gotten texts and calls on the same thing. Kylan Hill from Mississippi State. No, I've never said once he owes an apology to anybody. So I hope that you can hear this. I said the young man, I don't believe because he said he put an ultimatum down. And I didn't, and I don't believe the young man saw that politics and progress move slower than a dead gum turtle. And this is a senior year for this young man. So again, while I'm proud of him and he should never apologize. I just don't think that he's going to be able to hold true to what he said was his ultimatum. And I do think he should get out there and play if COVID-19 allows us to have an SEC and college football season. But the cause for change with the flag in Mississippi, we're going to talk with my good friend John Luke McCord from Mississippi, Mississippi born, Mississippi bred, a Mississippi man till he's dead. And he knows all about this. And I'm going to ask him. But again, I've never said that I believe that he's done anything to where he's going to have to apologize. I just don't think he's going to be able to live up to his ultimatum because the progress of change moves so dead-gum slow. And that's just, unfortunately, politics. But now John Luke McCord, a Mississippi man, he joins me now. And if you don't know who he is, it's just going to make me sad because he joins me basically every single week. I don't know if we've missed very much. It's at JL Grindin on Twitter. You know him from, of course, the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. And, of course, joining me every single Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, he's down in Tupelo. Now, John Luke, you have lived in Mississippi how long?
My whole life.
All
26 years of my existence, yes.
And you're a Mississippi, like you went to Mississippi schools too, right?
Yeah, Ole Miss. That's right. Yeah,
that's what I thought. You're an Ole Miss grad. Now that's kind of funny because you didn't go to Mississippi State either, did you?
That's where my family went. Actually, the first person my family to go to Ole Miss. So that's how I'm able to toe the line, I guess, between it and stay in the healthy portion of the rivalry. But
interesting.
I mean, yeah.
Well, see, because I have a daughter who went to Ole Miss and then to State, and boy, talk about and her family. She's got both sides of the family. You know, one side of the family's Bulldogs. One side of the family is straight up Rebels, and it's fun. It's fascinating. They love their schools. They love Mississippi. And I wanted to ask you a couple of very like questions that I think are, in all honesty, very difficult because right now Mississippi is taking forefront in a huge spotlight after a lot of things from George Floyd, the protest, Confederate flag, Bubba Wallace. I mean, we can talk on, for days about all the things that have happened. But I want to just kind of focus on a few small things because you're from Mississippi. First and foremost, realistically, do you get upset with what you have seen first and foremost of some of the way they portray Mississippians?
Certainly, but look, I mean, I do understand that it is warranted in many causes. And the thing is, I think that most intelligent Mississippians, not necessarily including myself in that company, but a lot of intelligent Mississippians will tell you that that's something they just have come to expect is taking Mississippi, taking issues that happen here and sort of using them as examples, as lectures in the news in other parts of the country, because it's easy to use Mississippi and our history and lump it in and make examples of things that just cannot be going on in a progressive world. But I will tell you this, And of course, Peter Burns put out a tweet similar to this sentiment. I mean, other people that have visited here will tell you. I mean, look, Mississippi by and large is a large group of hospitable people, but you mentioned the hands of time turn slowly. The winds of progress move slowly. I mean, look, that's no more true than here in Mississippi, and not only just feelings and the way people act, but especially in our state legislature. And I mean, that's one reason you're seeing an issue that should have been taken care of a couple of years ago with some strong leadership. Still, that leadership not present. Fear of the ballots is really what it comes down to between the legislature, who simply, in some instances, and things are starting to change this week, but in some instances, still pointing to a referendum from 2001, which obviously I wasn't able to vote in 2001. I was 8 years old, and many people, in my age range, obviously had the same restriction of not being able to vote in that 2001 referendum. So look, I will say this. I do think Kylan is going to be able to back up his statement, and I believe that that's going to be because potentially that some change does occur. That's what I would say. I think there's real momentum.
It doesn't occur before he starts football, right? Because, like, in all honesty, like, he's going to still have to play a little football before, like, Mississippi actually gets this passed through, the state legislature and it's actually signed into progress.
Coming down to next November, certainly, then a football season has come and gone, and another one is on the way, is underway. So, but I think that, again, there's real momentum within the Mississippi legislature this week. Privately, I think they're trying to garner votes in the House and Senate to make sure this can pass by 2/3 of the majority.
Really?
Look, even if this is a situation where Mississippi gives the flag, just puts the flag away entirely, and decides next November we're going to settle on what our next flag will be. I think even if it comes to no flag flying to represent the state of Mississippi for a time period, I think there could be at least, I wouldn't say a decision made, but an action taken against the obviously antiquated and offensive flag that currently flies.
Man, that makes tons of sense. Now, I have to also ask you, because you, again, are an Ole Miss person, and again, Kylan Hill is at Mississippi State. I see a difference, and a lot of people probably might not, and they're saying, what are you talking about, John? Listen, the Rebels, I understand the Rebels somehow, like I've listened this week, I don't think that the Rebels need to change their name. It's history. It is not an offensive. I mean, they're the Sharks or everything else. Ole Miss Rebels, it's just, come on now. 1997, they were the first school to outlaw the Confederate flag. I don't understand why that's not looked at as a positive for Ole Miss. They changed themselves. They changed Colonel Reb. That he's not, the main piece. They've gone from the bear to the land shark. They have tried to be progressive, but also still true to their heritage. So again, like Ole Miss, I actually feel like has gotten it more than most other parts of the country, but it feels like a lot of flack has come towards them.
Look, they've had to, John, and that you're so right. Ole Miss has taken more action, but Ole Miss is also has been the hitter in the batter's box that's just having to overthink, because obviously well when I say this what I'm talking about. But look, a lot of history that is attached to Ole Miss, like the 1960s, obviously there was a huge incident in the early 60s on campus. You can Google that. And look, Ole Miss has a lot of negative history as it pertains to, the Confederacy and racism in the past attached to it. And they have had to be more thoughtful and looking within to make sure that they are not glorifying sort of some of those old symbols. And also, like you said, while preserving the history that this happened, Ole Miss has had a challenge with that more than anyone. And again, we mentioned what happened to Mississippi a minute ago.
I wanted to interrupt, and some of the history that I'm trying to talk about is more of their modern history, and it's almost like when you watch the Book of Manning, like, oh my goodness, with Archie, you see the way he was with him and his teammates. Then you see, what happened with Peyton, and then to Eli. You look at Ole Miss with Chucky Mullins, Archie Manning, and Eli now as going to be the only three numbers that are retired. Patrick Willis, I'm waiting for that one as well. it just feels like, again, what I'm trying to say is Ole Miss, I feel like, has realistically tried, like openly, outwardly tried, especially in the local community. But what I'm trying to say is it's like nationally, they don't get the just due that is deserved. And it feels like some of the national writers pick on Ole Miss because they think they're an easy target. And I sometimes feel like they miss the truth and the reality of what Ole Miss has 100% stood up and said, was our past and we denounce it. They said no more Confederate flag. 1997, never again. I've not been into the Grove and seen a Confederate flag in over 25 years at least. That is a big statement. It feels
Colonel
like
Reb off the sidelines.
Colonel Reb's off the sidelines. It's like it just feels like they have tried to, again, Manning Way and with Chucky and just everything. I feel like
they've renamed streets on campus.
Renamed streets on campus. And the other thing is, what I'm saying is though I look at other schools, they haven't done nearly as much. Like now Clemson's trying to sneak out a name, and other schools are trying to sneak out a name, and they're like, hey, look what we're doing while we're sneaking this out. Well, Ole Miss has actually been battling this fight for a long time, and I feel like a lot of schools could actually learn from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss has been fighting in this weight class for a long time. You're absolutely right. I mean, the thing is, though, again, it's easier, especially for national writers, than the time crunch that they have to swoop in and to use Ole Miss as an example. And that's something we were talking about at the beginning of the conversation. But that it's, to me, there is a story there about Ole Miss. But like you're saying, it's what they've done to detach. And why can't they be used as the best practice or an example here of some other things that need to really become detached from the universities in this portion of the United States? I mean, Tar Heels at North Carolina, we could go on and on. I really don't want to be offensive and break over the coals with these things, but there's plenty of issues to be found. And I think that's the frustration of Mississippi. I find that to be my frustration. And look, the thing is, the Mississippi state flag, if the SEC and the NCAA wants to come out and make that statement, a lot of Mississippians have trouble with that. They feel like things are being forced on them. I think that's fine. Maybe it's a bias because I would like to see the flag go away for more than just sports reasons, for economic reasons, for civil reasons. But again, I think sports had to be the driver for this state, so I don't have a problem with that being the way things were carried out. But again, I think the SEC specifically, and the NCAA to an extent, have to be consistent. The Georgia state flag,
correct. I didn't know about that until this week, by the way.
Yeah, it's as offensive as the Mississippi flag, if only for the fact they changed it to that in 2003, and sit around quietly like no one will ever notice what they've done there with that flag. And so, again, I just ask you, look, I have no problem going down this road of
just
sort of
being
eliminating
fair.
sort of this offensive symbolism, but you have to do your research in this day and age and know what you're talking about and know who else is also walking within that that offensive area. But the Georgia state flag is a complete joke that has not been brought into question here. And again, a lot of people want to point to Atlanta. I really think it's ignorance of what that flag where the origins are.
No. And by the way, I just want to thank you, John Luke, for coming on here because a lot of people are very, very scared to talk about these very difficult, honest. I mean, it's not easy to talk about reality. I mean, Confederate monuments, Confederate symbolism, anything that has to do with the South, where people start talking about heritage versus history, it gets very difficult. The one thing, though, I guess I wanted to bring to light is, while everybody seems to find anger, and I read Dan Wolken's piece, and I've read other people's pieces, and it seems like they're coming down on the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, when, again, I guess maybe because I've been so close to it, and I've seen all the changes, and I have literally seen how much they've done, that it just feels like a soft, weak target, and you're ignoring Georgia, you're ignoring Clemson, you're ignoring all these other schools who are like slowly like taking these things away to try to hide it from you, but they've had it loud and proud. And it was in 1997 when Ole Miss went ahead and banned the Confederate flag. NASCAR did it this year, but NASCAR's being put up on a pedestal as like this great progressive. Hey, we have one black driver. Congratulations, NASCAR. And we banned the Confederate flag, but Talladega still had Confederate flags on the outside. And again, Ole Miss, who did it in 97, I'm reading articles in the USA Today. I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm thinking to myself, have you paid any attention to actually what they've done? And I'm thinking to myself, if you actually do your history and you look at Ole Miss, they have come such a long way. They could be a lesson for a country and actually how to heal. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there and ask somebody who's a Mississippian.
Well, and if I could just offer just sort of a thought here, last thought. I mean, I will say this: Mississippi, the timing of sort of look. I hate that some of the things that happened with some of the protests and businesses being destroyed, but this movement actually couldn't have come at a better time for the state of Mississippi, and I say that for this reason. Mississippi is facing a large issue. Of course, race has always been an issue, race relations in this state. But the biggest issue modern that was facing in Mississippi was brain drain and losing the best and brightest from the state.
Good point.
And I think the first step in addressing that issue, actually, for Mississippi at least, was addressing this issue. And you have to get past this issue. You have to detach from some of the symbolism, including a flag, to not only from a person-to-person relation move on, for keeping your best and brightest college graduates, for getting them to come back after college and live here, but also to move forward economically. Not just employee-wise, but economically with deals of companies coming in from out of state and wanting to do business here and set up shop here. I think Mississippi needed to address this issue to attack one of the largest issues that's facing them in the modern times. I think is you have to address an old issue like race to get forward with the current issue. And so I think that it couldn't have come at a better time. Maybe it was hidden away in some of the more urban parts of America, and it has become a big issue. But here in Mississippi, it's always been in the open, and I'm glad that it's being addressed and attacked.
And I am too, and I appreciate you for talking, John. I got to say goodbye, and I will say this again. Martin Luther King Jr. said it. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by their color of their skin, but the content of their character. If you listen to the Dalai Lama, who spoke with, I think it was 60 Minutes or CBS News, wherever I watched that, he talks about small-mindedness. You can't think of your brother and your sister as different just because their skin is different. We're all brothers and sisters in this world. The sooner we accept that, the better that we will all be. John Luke, you're my brother. I love you. You have a blessed one down in Mississippi, and I'll talk to you soon, my man.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good week.
That's my buddy, John Luke. Now, I'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 96.1, and, of course, 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Great news, sports fans. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse is now open for dine-in service. Make a reservation and enjoy a mouth-watering steak dinner. Or, if you prefer, take it curbside. In addition to their fantastic steaks, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has a variety of entrees, including Canadian lobster tail, crab stuffed shrimp, pan-seared red snapper, and fresh ground steak burger with portobello mushroom sauce. Planning to cook out? The Butcher Shop Steakhouse offers a great selection of hand-cut fresh steaks, lamb chops, Atlantic salmon, and more. Father's Day is coming soon, so make your reservation for dine-in or pre-order for curbside pickup. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, dine-in, curbside, and delivery. Call us at 757-4244 and visit our website, thebutchershop.com, for menus and more. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, Walnut Grove and Germantown Parkway.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order. See Casper.com/terms.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man.
I'm your pusher man. Ow, yeah. I am your pusher man. And let me tell you a little something. I love all of y'all. And I got to tell you something. Y'all make me laugh. Every one of y'all at 67129. Every person that calls me at 901-360-8255. And everybody out there listening on Sports 56. And plus our 2 FM channels, 96.1 and 87.7 FM. I love y'all. Now, we talked about Mississippi, man, the state, the flag, all kinds of stuff. People have chimed in. Thank you. A lot of people said, I don't think I can read this one right now. I'll read it during the break. That one has a couple of words I can't say. But I want to say something to you. Anything that we say on this, we open up these lines. You're very free to come in there and talk about Kylan Hill or anything else. But in this last little segment, I did want to remind all you the talk we had earlier about, Greg and Eli's show, middays. Now, Pink Floyd, I've already said, I have to have Pink Floyd. I'll tell you why, because they have the greatest, in my personal opinion, when you go from The Wall to Wish You Were Here to Dark Side of the Moon, Division Bell, Animals, Pulse, Atom of the Heart, Dead Gummit, just, you can't beat Pink Floyd. Like Gilmore, Roger Waters, 2 different eras. Now, I love Hendrix. I love The Doors. I love the Beatles. I love Widespread Panic. All these things. And I mentioned Guns N' Roses because, man, people don't realize how Appetite for Destruction came in there and took over. A lot of people hit up for, if you're a rock person, Metallica or Nirvana, if you're an alternative rock person. I was just trying, like I said, I just wanted people at 67129 to hit me and tell me what you think. And I was just thinking as I was listening to that, because you got to think about it. Sweet Child of Mine, Civil War, playing Wish You Were Here from, Bob Dylan, all these things that they did. But a lot of people have come in. I am a widespread guy. I love the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead are going to be in there because I figured if I have the Dead, I have every live show they've ever done. Most people, like when I grew up, I had 500 at least just, and Gabe Kuhn wouldn't even understand what that's like. Like I had a wall that had cassette tapes, Gabe. Have you ever seen those? Do you know what a cassette tape is?
I have.
So I had at least 500 live shows from the Grateful Dead that me and all my friends used to record off of each other and go to live shows and record them. And there were some guys who might have eaten peyote or mushrooms or whatever. Who knows? Maybe smoked a little something. But they were at the shows partying like rock stars. So sometimes it was amazing. Sometimes you'd hear those idiots tripping their brains out. Sometimes it was great quality. But the Dead would be up there. Pink Floyd would be up there. I want to know, is it Jimmy? Is it Jim? Is it the Beatles? Do I go with a jam band? Who do I go with? I got the Dead. I got the Pink Floyd. I've picked 2. Who's the third band that I have to pick? 67129. Let me know. You only get 3 bands for the rest of your life. I got the Dead. I got Pink Floyd. I got Jerry. I got Roger. And I got Gilmore. Hit me up, 67129. That's 67129. Tell me who I have to have. Also, tell me, how do you feel about Callan Hill, Mississippi State? How do you feel about Ole Miss and the way they've handled things? Do you feel like people have picked on this school because they've been easy pickings and they've actually missed the hard work that they've honestly done? It's amazing when you actually do good things. Most people don't talk about you. It's only when you really do a lot of bad things that they start talking about you. I guess it's true. If it bleeds, it leads. Speaking of it bleeding and leading, Mr. Djokovic, number 1 in the world, Novak Djokovic, and that his name, I said it pretty good.
You did.
For a tennis player, can't believe I knew who it was. But he parties like a rock star, plays ball like an all-star, and you know what I heard from Jenna Jameson? Well, don't worry about that. But he plays tennis, and he's got COVID-19. Everybody's getting sick from it. What's going to happen with sports? I'm going to tell you on the other side. If I were you, I wouldn't touch that dial. Coming up next, oh yeah, me, Gabe, and what the hell's going on in the sports world. Never forget Chad Gatlin and Memphis Farmers on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Ah, the copperhead snake. It hisses before attacking. But that's not a copperhead. That's the Sullivan's RV freshwater tank overflowing into their black one, which is backing into their vent pipe, making for a very different kind of attack. One that arrives just in time for taco night. It's wild out there. When it gets too wild, Progressive has your RV covered. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to memphisfarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com or call 901-235-1176.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are Farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am Johnny Radio. You know who Gabe Kuhn is. He's your very good friend at G_Kuhn71. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. And remember, you can also not just listen to us on 560 or 96.1 or 87.7 FM, but Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. You can see how good we look in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. And remember, Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And if you want to get your pool on, they got pools right now starting at $15.99. You will absolutely love it. Now, I love Family Leisure. I hope you love me. Now, we've been talking all day about 3 bands. It actually started with Greg and Eli. I think it's one of the most genius segments we've heard in a long time. I love it. I got Pink Floyd and the Grateful Dead. I'm going with Pink Floyd and the Grateful Dead. Who's number 3, y'all? 67129. Hit me up. Who is my number 3 for the greatest, band, greatest albums, whatever? I can only listen to 3. I got Floyd. I got Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. Who is number 3? 67129. But now it's time to talk a little bit about the truth of coronavirus. Now, Novak Djokovic, he has come up, and yes, we now have a tennis player who has it. We talked about Nick Watney yesterday being the first golfer who came down with COVID-19. We had, 30 LSU people get quarantined, 23 people at Clemson, 8 from Kansas State, 13 from Texas, and right now, almost, I believe, the quote was about 60% of all NCAA institutions have right now somebody who's tested positive with COVID-19.
Did you see Boise State shut down until Sunday?
Whoa. Sunday?
Until Sunday.
No, I didn't see this.
So they actually closed down because, according to them, there's been an increase in community-based cases.
Oh, my goodness.
And the thing is, they only caught 8 across campus, but they'll be shut down until Sunday, which I don't really know in the grand scheme of things how much that does. And that they shut down athletic facilities, they shut down on-campus facilities, everything like that.
Now, and this is the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Now, this is what I wanted to bring up to Gabe. Do you remember back in January when I got sicker than a dog and was so sick that I thought I was going to die?
Missed the back half of the week.
Yeah, I missed the whole week. I've never missed work. I went to the little clinic and they said I didn't have the flu. They told me I had a bad cold, remember? And I'm going, God, this must be the worst cold in the history of the world. I don't care what anybody says. I think I had coronavirus. I mean, I couldn't breathe. I laid on the ground. I was sweating profusely. I had like 102 and 103 degree fever. My girlfriend left me, and her dad went and stayed in a hotel. The only thing they left me was the dogs. And, after about a week, I came back to work, but it also took another 2 weeks for me to actually feel normal. I'm not saying I know 100%. I'm just thinking maybe if I get tested, I probably got the antivirus. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people out there. I don't know when coronavirus exactly hit this country, but what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of parents right now, and this is the decision, and I can read it on the text line. I can read it on my Twitter, and I talk to a lot of them. They're saying, I don't want to play games with my child's life. I don't know what the long-term effects of this, can be. And right now, with what we have going on in the NCAA and college football, it is damn scary. But I want to go to this. Major League Baseball. I want to talk to you about what I think is the biggest farce in sports history. And I truly believe this, that the NBA, I think that they came and they talked to their players and their fans, and they were honest, and they truly want a season. I think they want to give somebody, I think they want a team to go out there and win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. I think the NFL is working their keister off. Like, they have testing procedures. They have places in place. They have their fans. Nate Burleson did some great stuff about George Floyd. They had Roger Goodell come out and make statements. The NFL is working. NASCAR got rid of the Confederate flag. NASCAR is racing. Golf is playing golf. Nick Watney is the first person to catch COVID. But let me tell you something, what I truly believe. Baseball is BS. Straight up. And the owners played the fans. They played the players. They played their deadgum agents. And they played Tony Clark like a damn fiddle, man. Dude, what's that dude? Devil Went Down to Georgia playing that fiddle. You know what I'm saying? Dude, they played them like, man, a guitar. Like Hendrix played the guitar back in the day. The owners literally put Rob Manfred out there and made him the bad guy. And they had public pressure, and they put it on the players. And I want you to think about this. This so-called BS thing about this 60 games or so. Look at the calendar, y'all. Do math. Y'all are smarter than me. Come on, man. You think on July 1st that the players all of a sudden are going to just show up down in Arizona and Florida like that for what they agreed on in March? And it's a less amount of games? No, they're not. And you know who's going to look bad? The players, because that's who we're going to blame. But the owners played us like a damn fiddle. Devil Went Down to Georgia. They made us all look stupid. They made the players look stupid, and they just drove a wedge. Because you know what? 80% of the players make less than $1 million. 20% make more. They just put a wedge. They were going to pay 100% of those who made $1 million or less. And there was a percentage for those who made more. And then there was going to be this and that and all these things. And you know what you've done? 2022, you have just given Tony Clark the hardest job that's going to be, and that's to save baseball's keister. But baseball doesn't realize these owners, because they just want that $1 billion, because they just want a playoff, yo. Think about it. If they get 50 games and a playoff, they still make $797 million that's split 30 ways. Think about that. It's almost $1 billion. And that's just for the playoffs. Yes, they don't want to pay. Dude, if you don't have to pay for what? You only have to pay for 50 games of a 162-game season. So you have to pay for less than a third of their regular season salary, because that's what baseball is. They don't get paid nearly as much for the postseason. That's for the owners. And now they're going to get 50 games and a playoff. And if the owners don't get that, you know what they get? They drive a wedge right between the haves and the have-nots for 2022. And you know what these rich billionaires are thinking to themselves? I will either take my super riches now, or I will cut off my nose to spite my face, because I think in 2022, these players will fold, because their lives and the amount of years that they can make money is limited to the 38 and a half years that an average owner. And I joked around about the Mets and how J-Lo and A-Rod and a couple billionaires now want to buy the Mets. Why do you think people are offering, even when baseball is dead, billions and billions of dollars for these pro teams? Why? Because The owners make so much damn money, it's not funny. You talk about the players being rich. Well, the owners are the ones who write the checks for every single player and for all the people in the stadium. And then guess what? They cash about $1 billion a year in profits, and then they stick it in their purse, and they fly off in their private jet, and they party like a rock star, play ball like an all-star. Just ask Jenna Jameson what they do else. And they're probably hanging in Morocco. It's ridiculous. Guitar, fiddle playing owners, slapping people upside the head, making us look stupid. Feel like Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's out there going, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did anybody see what I did in the past? He's been hiding for a while. Did you see this, by the way?
No.
You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I don't.
I can't believe I brought this up. I am an idiot, maybe. So, Jimmy Kimmel, do you know he used to do the Man Show? Did you ever watch that? When you were young, when I was young, I used to love big round things, girls jumping on trampolines. That was the start of the show. It was a sexist show. Let's just be honest. It was a very, very sexist show. Tried to go like Dave Chappelle, but the other way, like for the Man Show. You know what I'm saying? Like Dave Chappelle was funny as all get out, Tyrone Biggum smoking crack, you got, Charlie Murphy and Rick James. Dave Chappelle was like an icon. But then you have like Jimmy Kimmel and what's that dude who tried to like do work with him? Heck, and they even had Chris Rock come out and do some stuff with him. Anyway, point is, their show back in the 90s used to do a lot of very risque things. And one of the biggest things they used to do is Jimmy Kimmel played Karl Malone in full blackface. Straight, like I was wondering when this was going to come out. So you didn't know this?
No, I did not, man.
Bro,
give me a little history lesson.
Oh my Lord, I can't believe this. 67129 hit me up. I didn't realize I was bringing something new to light. Jimmy Kimmel, back in the day, when like Karl Malone was playing in the league and going against Michael Jordan stuff on the Man Show, would come out in like his arms. He would have like fake arms on with muscles because, Jimmy Kimmel don't have muscles. And he would put a bald, like a fake wig on. And then he would go full blackface and put on a beard and he would do Karl Malone. And when he would talk, he'd be like, "Hey, I'm Karl Malone. I'm I'm gonna dunk on you." You know what I'm saying? And they made fun of Karl Malone that it was, in all honesty, I still think to myself, when I watched it back then, I thought to myself, because I was sitting with me and my friends, and I was going, damn, I'm uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And you watch that stuff, and people are like, man, what up? Blah, blah, blah.
All it took was a quick Google images search. This is wild.
So you have so you really
I
have
did
never
not
seen
know about this. This is
wow.
obviously surfacing recently, correct?
Actually, I don't even know if it's really surfacing.
But resurfacing. Not like surfacing.
I hope
Everyone,
not.
there's people that know about it, but what I'm seeing right now is Jimmy Kimmel's had to apologize in the past couple days. Yeah.
Okay. See, I thought I heard something. I knew I was hearing something, but I've been wondering, and I even said something to a friend of mine the other day. I was like, when is they got rid of Gone with the Wind, yo? Like, how is Jimmy Kimmel still got his show if he did Karl Malone? And was straight up on the, you know what I mean? And then there's also, I don't know if have you ever seen the Christmas track he dropped? Have you ever heard about this?
So he was just.
He says, okay, he's one of the only dudes I know who sings the N-word in an album.
Kimmel.
Yes. Oh, I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious. I feel like I'm telling, now I'm almost like.
I see. This is wild.
Man.
Man.
I'm blowing your mind, aren't I?
Yeah, this really is, and I'm looking at it, and it's.
But do you want to know what's so messed up?
How did he get away with these at the time?
Well, see, do you know why? Because he had Oprah and Eminem and Dick Vitale and Snoop Dogg and let me think, Rosie O'Donnell, another person who's very prominent. He had basically every celebrity that I would say is probably a Democrat, and I'm not trying to be I don't know, maybe they're not Democrats. What I'm trying to say is if you go out there and bring Oprah and then you do blackface Karl Malone and Oprah's clapping or Snoop Dogg's clapping, you kind of get away with it. Do you see what I mean? What I'm saying?
No, exactly. I get that. I
Okay,
get what you're saying.
and then now I don't know what Oprah was going to also say in 1993 when, Kimmel comes out in full blackface and plays Karl Malone. Like, what's she going to do, And I'm not saying that she was there that day, but those are the kind of people that, Kimmel associates with.
I'm lost that no one talked him out of it at the time.
Oh, home.
Like, that's
I
wild
have
to
been
me.
waiting for years. I've been wondering, since, 1993 or 95 or 97 or... I'm trying to think of all the years when I watched that show, and I'd be watching it like this. Oh, my gosh. Like, in Living Color, Chappelle's show. In Living Color was dope back then. Like, in Living Color was you never saw that?
No,
before.
I have. I know
you
in
have?
Living Color, yeah.
In Living, J-Lo, by the way, was a fly girl. And did you know there was this girl named, never mind, I'm not going to say her name, but I had dated a fly girl a long time ago. Ha! Best product. That's like one of my claims to fame. I'll shut up now. But I loved In Living Color. I loved all those shows. But Kimmel, man, the fact he was so far out there, it worked for him. But then when he got his Straight Late show, and he's the dude. He has his what channel is he on? Because I don't watch these shows. Who is it? Kimmel. It's the dude that it's Fallon, Kimmel, and who's the dude who always
ABC? Is it ABC?
Dude,
No,
I'm
hold
trying
on.
to remember the guy who Stephen Colbert. It's Stephen Colbert, it's Kimmel, and it's Fallon, right? Aren't those the three guys on TV now?
There's more than that, but
Or there
yes,
might
those
be
are three
more.
of them.
Or there are three of them. The three dudes that I can think of right now. But it used to be like Johnny Carson. It used to be,
Yes.
and then you had the two greats with, Dave. And then, of course, you had the man who always drove his car with the big face and the chin that went on forever. My goodness. I can't even think of his name.
Leno.
Jay Leno, that chin. Wow. Jay Leno, David Letterman, and now there's a bunch of dudes, so I can't even keep up with them. But again, how Kimmel got away with it for as long, and you know that he's been sitting on his show every single night going, this is going to come back and get me. This is going to come back and get me, yo. When is it going to come back and get me? And I think it finally came back and got him, I guess. Has it come back and got him?
Sure has.
Has
there's
it really?
reports as of today on Fox News, on TMZ, everything
No
else where
way.
he said, and here's the quote, "I have long been reluctant to address this as I knew doing so would be celebrated as a victory by those who equate apologies with weakness and cheer for leaders who use prejudice to divide us. That delay was a mistake. There's nothing more important to me than your respect, and I apologize to those who were genuinely hurt or offended by the makeup I wore or the words I spoke."
Wow. I knew that. You know what? I knew that was going to come out because you know what I saw this morning.
This was as of today.
Do you know what I saw? You know what I saw? I told you about 6:50 this morning. I was talking to you about how I was watching that crazy show where that guy was crying. He's like, "Oh man, y'all don't understand what y'all are doing, man. This is heritage, man." And I'm looking at my Twitter while this dude's crying on TV, and I saw the Karl Malone thing and then Jimmy Kimmel. And do you know what I thought?
It's on Twitter now.
I go.
He's
"This
apologizing later
This
today.
is not something good that he wants to see this morning. This is the wrong time." And I thought to myself, this might come out.
Hey,
today.
it ends up on the Twitter sphere, man. You're apologizing for it.
Oh, you are in
There's
total
no
trouble.
question.
Now, I also have to ask you, how much does Djokovic have to apologize to people who have now tested positive for coronavirus? How many people in the tennis world, because I am not part of the tennis world, so hit me up. It's 67129 because I'm dead serious. I don't know anything about this, but organizers of this, quote, tennis event that brought people to, Belgrade, Serbia or something? And is that where he's at? Anyway, Novak Djokovic, he lives in either Croatia or Serbia or somewhere, and he wanted an exhibition match. And he organized this bad boy. And again, I'm not I think he was in Belgrade. Anyway, point is, he has people come in, and this is a dude who has 17 Grand Slam titles. He's awesome. He's straight up one of the best in the world. He brings in other players, and now guess what happens? everybody that came and played so far, I think, has tested positive, haven't they? Like,
I don't know about everybody,
well,
but
the ones that matter, the ones that are actually, like, no offense, and I hate for all you people who are just there with the people who are lucky enough to not test positive, but all the people that actually played in the matches, I think they said it was like 6 for 6. Am I wrong on that, or am I getting bad information? But
I will continue to look up for that.
Yeah, look up for that, because I think so far all 6 of the tour players that played in this all tested positive for COVID-19 and now have to do self-isolation for 14 days against, again, Novak Djokovic. He is the man. The fact that he has COVID-19, it is huge. So if he has it, that's not a good thing. And again, I want you to remember something. He lives in Croatia. They have had 107 deaths. And for him, I have to admit, he felt to himself, 107 deaths, that's it. We're going to do our thing. And then guess what happens? Everybody pops up, and now they all got it. And that's just, I don't know, that's just a nightmare, is it not?
Along with Djokovic, world number 19, Grigor Dimitrov, tested positive, and world number 33, Borna Koric.
Thank you for trying. I wasn't even going to try, dude.
Borna Koric. Both have tested positive as well.
I wasn't going to. I saw their names. Just so you know, I said everybody important. Did you like how I put that?
You can't even say Justin Herbert, man, without saying
Dude, it's A-Bear.
It's Herbert.
It should be A-Bear.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, I know it's Herbert, but damn it drives me nuts. But no, I didn't even want to say those names because, man, that is like it makes you look at them and say to yourself, that just seems difficult. But yes, everything with COVID feels like it's going in the wrong way for COVID. And I have to tell you, MLB is a disaster. MLB, in my opinion, these owners, and I'm going to say it one more time, they have collectively bargained a feat that I never thought I would see. They have turned players against players. They have turned fans against players. They have turned also fans against Rob Manfred. They have turned everybody against them. They have got everybody hating baseball, and they're all sitting back on their yachts, probably in some beautiful island. Jerry Jones is probably not too far away on his millionaire yacht, and they're just chilling, yo. They're rich. They're just billionaires, and they just chilling. And they are letting people who have $1 million contracts look like bad people. And that, to me, is a sad thing. And again, the owners played us like a fiddle. They played the players like a fiddle. They have done everything like a fiddle. Now, in Hardwood, I'm going to talk about Charles Barkley. I'm also going to talk about how just all kinds of stuff is going on. And heck, I can't wait to bring up some funny stories. We'll bring up some probably Mary Jane. We'll talk about, just what's going on in the world that makes you feel kind of Kardashian-esque and sports-esque. So it's like what Tristan Thompson must wake up and feel like. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Whatever you do, always remember my good friend at MemphisFarmers.com. That's Chad Gatlin. That's MemphisFarmers.com. Auto, home, life, business, anything you can think. Think MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would just like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Now it's Geico's turn to share too, with a Geico Give Back. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for info and eligibility.
Oh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol Chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter.
My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, welcome into what? Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. And I'm going to tell you something. I am clean. I am a bad machine. I'm super cool. I'm super lean. And I always got Gabe Kuhn, who's got my back. And he's a solid steel, sex appeal, 300 pounds of full-grown man. Don't play with no games. He's like a bear. Follow him at G_Kuhn71. Me at Johnny_Radio. And don't forget, also the other reason I feel so good is Scott Taylor's my attorney. Scott Taylor, attorney at law. Check him out, by the way, 901-755-8075. That's 901-755-8075. If you ever have a problem, just go get Johnny's attorney, Scott Taylor, because he's a baller shot caller in the real deal. Holyfield. Now, I'm about to get to some Hardwood because the deadgummit, it feels so good. But before I go to Hardwood, I got to ask Gabe Kuhn because everybody's come in. I said Pink Floyd and the Grateful Dead. A lot of people have come in with AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, The Doors, Jimi Hendrix. All like I love. By the way, like if I couldn't listen to Castles Made of Sand or just some of the some of the great Jimmy songs, I would go crazy. But then I think of like American Poet. There's a lot of Doors stuff that a lot of people don't think of. This is the end, beautiful friend. Like, I honestly think I'm going to have to go Floyd, The Dead, and I'm going with The Doors. I love Hendrix, but I got to go with Jim Morrison. American Poet, Riders on the Storm. Just too much. Just too good, too much stuff. And plus, I get all that American poetry, so I get a little mixture of both. So everything will be great. But as we've said, Novak Djokovic, he's tested positive for corona. We got people all over the place testing positive corona. We got MLB owners playing us like a fiddle. The whole world is up in smoke, just like Cheech and Chong. It's time for some hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Dadgummit, what a good day for a little Access Hardwood. Now, I got to say straight up, starting off in a very, very, very touchy subject. Have you heard this one? There is a Cornell player. He's a freshman recruit. He was kicked off the team. The University of Cornell has reportedly dropped him from the team. The reason is he used the N-word in a Snapchat video over this weekend. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you go to Cornell, aren't you supposed to be intelligent?
Very, actually. Ivy League.
I thought that was an Ivy League school. Thank you, Mr. Gabe Kuhn. Now, would you think that an Ivy League kid would scream at the top of his lungs, F, then the N-word, and then say, you can post that bleep? Would you think that that would come out of a supposedly intelligent human being's
An Ivy League
mouth?
student?
An Ivy League
Probably
student.
not. No.
I never would think that either.
But I will say this. He's going to have to pay some repercussions.
Oh, Mr. Nathan, and I will not say your last name because you're still a child. Somewhat. But, man, you're actually legally adult, but you are now kicked out of school. The video is a lot grosser than the way I have presented it. If you do go online and you see it and you hear the language and you hear the manner in which this person conducts themselves, and then you find out that they're an athlete, a student athlete at Cornell, I'm going to tell you something. It does make you wake up and realize something. No matter if you are smart or if you are dumb or if you are intelligent or ignorant or whatever, it doesn't matter. Wake up, people. Racism is a taught thing. And you might be able to get a 35 on your ACT or make straight A's. But you know what? If your dad is just built or your mom is built and she has stone as a heart, she's going to pass that along. And unfortunately, I think that was passed along to this young man. So again, it doesn't matter how smart you are, but it does matter to this. So all you out there who are intelligent and are smart, do me a favor. If you've ever been taught hate, remember, you never want to wake up on the wrong side of history. Live life to always have the golden rule, and that is to treat others as you would want to be treated. And just remember, when you are cut, we all bleed the same damn color. We're all brothers and sisters. We're just all in this little bitty blue marble traveling like 33,000 miles an hour around the sun in this crazy little universe that we call the Milky Way. So stop it. Just stop with the hate and just love your brother. And that's all I got to say. Because when I see something like this young man, it hurts my heart because I never, this is what stinks about what I talk about Ole Miss. Ole Miss is taking a beating. People who love the University of Ole Miss are confused because I know that they've been a part of the change in the last 23 years. Ole Miss has gone out of their way to do so much change in their community that I can honestly say I'm proud. I didn't mind my daughter going there. And again, you know my grandson, you know my family. At least I hope so. I was proud of her going there. And they're an easy target. But look at Cornell, an Ivy League school. Again, it shouldn't be looked on the basis of let's just attack somebody because they're an easy target. Let's get down to brass tacks. If we really want to fix things, let's go after those people who are ignorant. Let's go after those people who actually put stuff out on Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook that is what I consider hate mongering. And let's not throw somebody just because they're from Mississippi. Let's just not beat them up just because they're from one state. Let's again go to Martin Luther King and let's judge them on the content of the character. It's very simple. All he said was, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. We need to start doing that to people in certain states, in certain sections of the country. Yes, we have to go after the South for certain things, but we have to look at individuals. Quit putting everybody. The more you put people in tribes, or the more you section people off, the more division that you sow. We're trying to heal as a nation. We're not trying to separate ourselves. So I'll leave it at that. Now, I got to ask you straight up, Mr. Gabe. This is also another thing that tripped me out. Tom Izzo, did you see what he said today?
He stepped back on what he said a few years ago when Colin Kaepernick first took a knee.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you think this is... Like, did you actually see the words that he says? I talked to all those people.
The fact that he said he's still learning gives me some hope.
Gives you some hope? Okay.
That makes me think that he's being somewhat genuine. Just because he said that. But, again, you can't judge how a person still feels. If it's about, at this point, if it's about saving what's left of their character or actually change, you don't know at this point. I tend to believe that Tom Izzo, through his talks with a lot of his players and everything like that, the fact that he says he's still learning, we can only take him at his word for that.
All right, you know what? That is a very, very fair thing to say. And by the way, I'm not going to sit there and disagree with you. The only thing that I can say is how do I say this? For a man who's been in charge of a program that's a basketball program at Michigan State, like we talk about Flint, Michigan, we talk about Michigan State, the water crisis that has gone on, just everything that you have seen in Michigan, and like you feel, and like today you got hit upside the head with an epiphany, like, holy cow, racism is real. I have never seen it until today. I have traveled with my team all over the world and never have I seen it. But today I now realize. Like, I'm sorry. It just feels so BS in my opinion.
So a lot of these feel forced, man. A lot of these sort of apologies from these prominent figures, 3 years ago when they were denouncing everything that Colin Kaepernick did, a lot of them are, it seems forced. But it's such a weird spot we're in, like, with Drew Brees. Like, how genuine do you think Drew Brees is being? I know half people think that he's not.
He went crazy. Like, he went attacking a president. He was like, Drew Brees came out like with a couple of gats. He's like, yo, let me tell you something. Y'all want to know what side I'm on? He was capping everybody. So I don't even think we can bring Drew Brees back up anymore.
But either way, that was another one that was brought along.
Yes,
because
it was. But see, there's a difference. I think being bring along or people who are being woke. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess for me and you is, listen, I felt bad, and I talked about you on this air about how, I thought everything was great in this country. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. I live downtown. I live in this, very, very diverse family. I hang out with a very, very diverse group of people. I never, thought things were necessarily as bad as they were. I was more looking towards like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. The core fundamentals, how we can actually still participate in government, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at things through a journalism lens. I was blinded by stupidity. But here's the one thing I want to say. My stupidity was at least honest. And I can say that my apology was honest. Now, I'm not trying to say that their apology isn't honest, but if I was in charge of that many young men, which I've never been in charge of that many young men, and I was paid that much money to be in charge of young men and also to be almost like their father figure, I feel like I should know what the hell is actually going on to get a 6-figure salary, to make bank, and also, quote, be a father figure to more than half of the team that's African American.
Can't believe you just said 6-figure. That's more than six figures. What are you talking about? That's Tom Izzo, buddy.
It's 7.
That's
you're
at
right.
7 at the least. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, I'm going back, dude. 6 figures back then was big, though. But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when I think about just the blind BS that they're trying to pull over my face, I feel like the only thing they're trying to protect is the money that they're making. And you know what it sounds like? It sounds just like Gundy, who's trying to protect his mullet and his money. Izzo's trying to protect his money. I mean, damn. At least Patino.
Well, I didn't get to see.
Can I at least say Patino? He was down on a table with a girl in Italian saying, "What would you like in your manicotti?" Okay? You know, what do you want? Here, I got you, sweetheart. And then he's like, "Hey, my players want manicotti. Hey, I'm gonna get you a
I
whole
didn't see
straight up
Izzo.
thing
Was
going."
Izzo reading off a teleprompter like Gundy?
Just about.
that make me make. That's a big distinction we need to make. Was he reading off a teleprompter?
That is very
Did he write something on his phone beforehand? Because Gundy was reading directly off a teleprompter.
Yes, he was.
But again, it's one of these things where these guys, to protect some of them, to protect the money that they were making, they are saying the right things. Does that mean they're doing the right things? No, but they're at the very least saying the right things. It's a weird time. It's bizarre. And you can't prove whether a person's being genuine or not. You can just sort of assume. And there's some people that I've seen apologize that I think are a lot more genuine than others.
Oh, my friend just texted me, and I can't stop laughing. I love you, Serena.
I need to take your phone away from
Oh,
you,
I
man.
know you need to. I got to say also, though, you're killing me, but Andre Drummond, did you see what he's going to do?
Isn't he, like, keep it an option to stay with the Cavs? Like,
Dude, hey, let me tell you something. This is where I want to ask you a question. For you people who are out there going, it would be stupid for Dak Prescott to sign a $31.8 million deal to play with the Dallas Cowboys. But then you're the exact same person who wrote this article that said, it would be, and he put STU in capital letters, stupid if you didn't stay in Cleveland next year for $28.75 million. I want to ask you something, sir. Why is it that one man who's made over $100 million in his career, it would be stupid for him not to stay in a sorry place like Cleveland for $28.75 million. But it would also be stupid for somebody like Dak Prescott, who's only made $4 million in his entire career, to turn down $31.8. Because the same writer has written both articles. And I want an answer. Why is it stupid for Dak Prescott, who's only made $4 million, to get $31.8 million guaranteed damn dollars to play quarterback behind the best offensive line with the best blocking back in football in Zeke Elliott, with CeeDee Lamb, who they just added in the offseason, with Amari Cooper? I mean, what do you need on that damn team? He's going to go out there and he's going to be awesome. And you know what? He'll be a free agent after this year. $31.8 million. You said with the exact same STU capitalized than PODITY. You said that yesterday about Dak Prescott if he signed with Dallas. Now you're saying that Andre Drummond would be stupid to not sign with Cleveland. One, Cleveland sucks, but it's $28.75 million.
Can I address this?
Yes, please. I want to know. I want to know how.
Here's my question:
can
Do you
say
think
this.
Do you think Andre Drummond's going to get another contract that's 5 years, $121 million?
No.
So why wouldn't he take his $28 million for this year and then
I would
move
take
on?
it. I would too.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what he's trying to say is it's stupid for him not to take that contract.
But can I ask you a question? How is it dumb for Dak Prescott then to take?
Oh no! I mean, you can have you can have one article that makes sense and one that's bad. We've seen that before.
That is true. But this I guess this is where I get mad, and I understand that if you're a sports writer, every day I guess you have to come up with an article or something. Okay. But when yesterday you wrote that Dak Prescott and you used STU in capital letters and I saw it, stupid Dak Prescott would be stupid. And then the next day, you write in the exact same article. By the way, you got to stop doing STU in capital letters and writing stupid with players because now everybody knows your articles. And it's annoying. But you now say Andre Drummond would be stupid to leave Cleveland, but Dak Prescott would be stupid to sign with Dallas. Well, can I just tell you a little secret? In my personal opinion, the amount of money Andre Drummond has made, I think he'd be stupid not to look at his options. And yes, you could take $28.75 million and maybe he could take it, or maybe he thinks he could go and win a ring. The man has already made so much money, it's not even funny. Dak has made $4 million. Did you know Andre Drummond has made over $100 more million than Dak Prescott?
Yeah, didn't know that.
And Dak has a $31.8 million deal on the table for 1 year. And guess what? If he
signed it.
Yes, he did. That's why I'm just saying.
Okay.
But the guy called him stupid. The guy said Dak is stupid.
Oh, God. That's a bad take. We talked about that, though. It's like, why would you not? What are you just going to sit out the whole year? And just
stupid. And do me a favor. Stop using STU in capital letters because everybody knows you're now becoming stupid. We'll be back in 2 shakes on Sports 56, 96.1. And don't forget my good buddy, Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com on 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement, where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Behind the lasagna, it's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Yeah, think about this. Guess what? We got Sports 56 Happy Hour. Last segment for your good friend Johnny Radio and Gabe Kuhn. But don't worry, sports time. Yeah, with Wolo and Stats, it's going to follow from 3 to 6. You got 3 hours of the men. That's right, Dave Woloshin, Brett Norsworthy, and they're going to come strong. Just like Greg and Eli did, and I'm still talking about it, the top 3 musicians, if I had to live. I got Pink Floyd, the Grateful Dead. Somebody, though, just tweeted in and said, bro, what about the Rolling Stones? Dude, Brown Sugar, Give Me Shelter, Sympathy for the Devil.
So, question: is there any other
Jumpin' Jack Flash?
But like, here was my argument.
What
are you just going to pick one genre?
Well, for me, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to tell you straight up. If I was ever going to go rap, people are going to laugh at me. It'd be 8 Ball and MJG because I know every single 8 Ball and MJG
but
song from when I was growing up. I don't listen to country.
For me, I'd have to switch it up. I'd have to have like
But see,
three
the
different
Dead,
necessarily.
Pink Floyd, the Dead, and even the Stones or the Doors, all 3 for me are very different. Like Jim is a poet. I think of Pink Floyd, like Roger Waters, and basically David Gilmour, like from The Wall to what they did from Dark Side of the Moon to Wish You Were Here is like artistic history. The Rolling Stones are great. But then the Grateful Dead is, again, just straight up to remind me of, like, basically being on lots, taking maybe some peyote or something, and talking to a lot of people and having fun watching Jerry Garcia melt into the dude, Dead, there's nothing like going to a Dead show, okay? Like, you can't, like, that's why you have to bring them on. Like, there's nothing like it. And then seeing, like, Gilmour remake The Wall, that's been great. So, yes, I love that genre, I guess you could say. So it would be hard for me to jump off that. And I never got to see Jim Morrison, but I would have loved that. But I love the Dead. But anyway, I've been talking lots of music. Again, Novak Djokovic has tested positive. We have talked about some crazy stuff.
We didn't even talk about the fact that they had like a little shirtless party going too.
That I didn't want to bring up because
we're bringing that up. We have to. Like, why do you think he has coronavirus?
Are you not like
he didn't care? It's like it's like COVID-19 didn't.
They didn't even believe it existed.
Yeah,
basically, they're like only 107 people in my country have died, and now they all got it, and they're like, yeah, it was bad. But then the other thing I was going to say is some people have hit up. And this is a very good point from one of my texters. And actually, Dave Woloshin brought this up during the break, and I'm sure you're going to hear more about it from Wolo. But Izzo, I agree with the texter and even my man Dave Woloshin, or I'm not even going to say Dave Woloshin. I'll let Dave speak for himself. I agree with the texter, and now I'm in this thing. Blank Izzo. Dude, there was the gymnastics. Do you remember the doctor at Michigan State?
Masser.
Yes, you go back and look at the history of Michigan State, and he is the most powerful person on that campus for as long as he was, and he let all this stuff go on. It just hurts my stomach. It makes me sick. It makes me sad, to be honest with you. And again, I don't understand how a man can have that much power and just be that blind and care so little for, again, a university, you're supposed to help people grow. You're supposed to educate young people. Remember, they're student athletes, and then you also have students. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a great atmosphere. But so many people used it for what? Making cash and basically killing souls. Now, I got to say, coming up next, though, Wolo and Stats, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. They're going to drive you home from 3 to 6, but I will come back tomorrow, and I'm going to party like a rock star. I'm going to play ball like an all-star, and then I guess you can ask Jenna Jameson what I'm going to do on the other flip side. But remember one thing, Gabe Kuhn and me want to tell you one thing. Get out there, because I know you can. You can make this world a better place, and we'll always see you on the flip side. Peace!